The Magical Adventures of Sonapari and Fruity. In a realm where the golden rays of sunlight danced through crystal-clear clouds and rainbows painted the sky in brilliant hues, lived Sonapari, the most beloved fairy of the enchanted kingdom of Suryalok, with her shimmering golden wings that sparkled like captured starlight and her melodious voice that could heal the deepest wounds. Sonapari was known throughout the magical realm as the guardian of joy and wonder. On a particularly beautiful morning, as dewdrops glistened like tiny diamonds on flower petals, Sonapari was tending to her magical garden when she heard a soft whimper coming from behind a cluster of singing roses. Following the sound with gentle curiosity, she discovered a small, round creature with the most peculiar appearance she had ever seen. The little being had skin that shifted colors like a chameleon, sometimes deep purple like ripe grapes, other times bright orange like a sunset, and occasionally a beautiful green like fresh leaves. Tiny golden specks dotted its surface, and it had the sweetest aroma of mixed fruits wafting around it. "Oh my!" exclaimed Sonapari, kneeling down gracefully. "What are you, little one? And why do you look so sad?" The creature looked up with tear-filled eyes that sparkled like liquid gems. I don't know what I am," it said in a voice as sweet as honey. "I woke up in this garden, and I can't remember anything about myself. All I know is that I smell like fruits, and when I'm happy, I taste like the most delicious treats, but when I'm sad, I become bitter and sour." Sonapari's heart filled with compassion. With her magical intuition, she sensed that this was no ordinary being. "You know what?" she said with a warm smile. "I think you're very special indeed. May I call you Fruity? It seems to suit you perfectly." Fruity's color immediately shifted to a warm, golden yellow, and the sweetest fragrance of mangoes and peaches filled the air. "Fruity," it repeated, giggling with delight. "I like that name. It makes me feel whole somehow." From that moment on, Sonapari and Fruity became inseparable companions. Sonapari discovered that Fruity possessed extraordinary magical abilities. When happy, Fruity could create the most delicious fruits that could heal ailments and restore energy. When focused, Fruity could change the taste of anything, turning bitter medicine sweet or making spoiled food fresh again. Their first adventure began when the peaceful kingdom of Suryalok faced a terrible crisis. The sorrowful sorcerer, a bitter wizard named Dukraj, had cast a spell of eternal sadness over the neighboring village of Kushipur. The once joyful village, known for its festivals and laughter, had become a place where flowers wilted, children forgot how to smile, and even the brightest sunshine seemed dim and grey. "We must help them, Fruity," declared Sonapari, her golden wings shimmering with determination. "No one should live without joy and happiness." Fruity, now glowing with a brave red hue like a ripe apple, nodded eagerly. "But how can we break such a powerful spell?" Sonapari pondered for a moment, her wise eyes twinkling. "I believe the answer lies in combining our powers. Your ability to bring sweetness and my gift of spreading joy. Together, we might be stronger than Dukraj's sorrowful magic." The duo set off on their journey, flying over mountains that touched the clouds and rivers that sang ancient melodies. As they approached Kushipur, the very air seemed heavy with sadness. The trees drooped their branches, birds had forgotten their songs, and a grey mist hung over everything like a suffocating blanket. In the center of the village stood Dukraj's dark tower, twisted and thorny like a giant black rose. The sorcerer had chosen this form to mock the beauty that once flourished in Kushipur. From the highest window, a cold blue light pulsed rhythmically, spreading waves of despair across the land. "The source of the spell," whispered Sonapari. "We need to reach that tower, but look, it's surrounded by the Garden of Sorrows." Indeed, the tower was encircled by the most depressing sight imaginable. Withered plants with thorns that dripped tears, flowers that sang lamentations, and trees whose fruits were so bitter that even touching them would fill one's heart with overwhelming sadness. "I have an idea," said Fruity, suddenly glowing with brilliant inspiration. "What if I transform into different fruits as we pass through the garden? Each fruit could counteract a different type of sorrow." Sonapari's face lit up with understanding. "Brilliant! And I'll sing the Song of Golden Memories," it's said to remind people of their happiest moments. As they entered the Garden of Sorrows, Fruity began its magical transformation. First, it became a cluster of sweet oranges, and wherever their juice touched the weeping thorns, they transformed into laughing daisies. Then Fruity shifted into succulent strawberries, whose sweetness turned the bitter fruit trees into candy apple trees that giggled in the breeze. Meanwhile, Sonapari's melodious voice rose through the air, carrying with it memories of first smiles, warm hugs, birthday celebrations, and moments of pure joy. Her song wove through the garden like golden threads, mending the broken spirits of every plant and creature they encountered. But their greatest challenge awaited them at the tower's entrance. Dukraj himself appeared, his robes as dark as a moonless night, and his face etched with years of accumulated bitterness. "So," he sneered, his voice like wind through a graveyard, "the little fairy and her fruit friend think they can undo my masterpiece of misery. I have been perfecting this spell for decades. Why do you want to spread such sadness?" asked Sonapari gently, even in the face of his intimidating presence. "What hurt you so deeply that you wish the same pain on others?" For a moment, Dukraj's harsh expression flickered. "Long ago," he said, his voice cracking slightly, "I too lived in a village full of joy, but when tragedy struck and I lost everything I loved, no one cared, no one helped. They continued their celebrations while I suffered alone. If I cannot be happy, why should anyone else be?" Fruity, sensing the deep pain beneath the sorcerer's anger, began to glow with a soft, compassionate lavender hue. "But making others sad won't heal your own sadness," Fruity said kindly. "It will only create more pain in the world." "What would you know about pain?" Dukraj scoffed. "I know about feeling lost and alone," Fruity replied honestly. "When Sonapari found me, I didn't even know who I was. I felt empty and frightened. But instead of staying bitter, I chose to let friendship fill that emptiness with sweetness." Sonapari stepped forward, her wings spreading wide and glowing with warm golden light. "Dukraj, it's not too late to choose differently. Let us show you that healing is possible, that joy shared multiplies rather than diminishes." As she spoke, Fruity began to transform into the most magnificent fruit anyone had ever seen. A magical fruit that seemed to contain the essence of every happy memory, every moment of love, every spark of hope that had ever existed. The aroma was indescribable, carrying scents that reminded each person of their most treasured experiences. "This is the fruit of remembrance," Fruity explained, offering it to Dukraj. "It won't erase your pain, but it will help you remember that sorrow and joy can exist together, and that shared joy becomes stronger while shared sorrow becomes lighter. Dukraj stared at the magical fruit, his hands trembling. Slowly, very slowly, he reached out and took a small bite. Immediately, his eyes filled with tears, but this time, they were tears of recognition and healing. He remembered his childhood laughter, his first love, the kindness of strangers, and the beauty he had once seen in simple things like sunrise and rain. I had forgotten, he whispered, his dark robes beginning to shimmer and change color. I had forgotten that there was anything besides the pain. As understanding and healing filled Dukraj's heart, the spell over Kushapur began to break. The grey mist lifted like a curtain being drawn back. Flowers bloomed in brilliant colors, and the sound of children's laughter echoed through the village streets. The twisted tower transformed into a beautiful lighthouse that would guide travelers safely home. Dukraj, no longer the sorrowful sorcerer, but now the wise healer, looked at Sonapari and Fruity with profound gratitude. Thank you for showing me that magic is most powerful when used to heal rather than harm. How can I ever repay this gift? Teach others what you've learned, Sonapari suggested with a gentle smile. Help people understand that pain is part of life, but it doesn't have to define our entire existence. From that day forward, Dukraj became a beloved figure in Kushipur, using his magic to help people process their sorrows while still embracing joy. The village became even more beautiful than before, as its people learned to appreciate happiness more deeply, because they had also learned to face sadness with courage and support. As for Sonapari and Fruity, their friendship had grown even stronger through their adventure. They discovered that Fruity was actually a unique magical being called a Razraj, a fruit spirit that existed to bring balance and sweetness to the world. With this knowledge, Fruity's powers grew even stronger, and together with Sonapari, they continued to spread joy, healing, and wonder throughout their magical realm. They learned that the greatest magic of all was the magic of compassion, the ability to see beyond someone's hurtful actions to the pain underneath, and the courage to respond with love instead of anger. Their story became legendary throughout all the magical kingdoms, inspiring countless others to choose kindness over cruelty and healing over harm. And so, in the golden realm where anything was possible and friendship was the greatest treasure of all, Sonapari and Fruity continued their adventures, knowing that wherever sadness existed, there was always an opportunity to plant seeds of joy, and wherever bitterness took root, there was always space for the sweetness of understanding to grow. The end of their first great adventure was really just the beginning of countless more magical journeys, each one teaching them more about the power of love, friendship, and the choice to make the world a little brighter, one heart at a time. Hope you enjoyed this magical English story of Sonapari and Fruity. For more amazing stories like this, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications.